Are we on? Hello, everyone. Welcome to Psychic Sundays. Oh, I cut that off too early. Hold on. Are we starting? Are we on? That volume shouldn't be on. That should be muted. Hi, everyone. How are you doing out there? Ooh, did you hear that cat?
Yeah, it's
Um,
Halloween.
It's Halloween, so she's.
So,
Did you
hey
step
guys,
on the
guess
cat?
what?
Mm-mm.
I don't have a microphone tonight, so we're gonna just play this by ear. So I just want to say hello, and
Do you want to lean? You want to lean in like that? I don't mind. I,
I hate technology, you guys. Just beam me up, Scotty, at this point.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Psychic Sundays. How's everybody doing? Hope you're cozy and well. Hi to all our friends on all the different time zones and dimensional zones. And, you might be listening from the future or the past. Who knows? At this point, time doesn't exist, is what everybody's saying. So I'm very happy with that. And I'm glad to be here with you guys. And hope you're doing well. Let us know where you're at. Give us a hello from what city you're in. A lot of people have been tuning in from around the world. We've got our groups in India and people in Japan and England, and some of you are staying up to watch the live. I love that. If you're not, dropping in with us while it's live. Well, hi anyway, because everything's in the now. There is no time. So here we are. Here's a little wave of the crystal to get this thing going today. Got the little crystal ball with the sacred golden mushroom in there. Can you sit down? How are you doing, E? Can you hear me okay? What about O? Can you hear O all right? She's not even talking.
I don't really want to talk. I'm so disturbed by technology right now.
Do you ever feel like
Well,
technology is against you?
Totally. Let me hear what E has to say about me. Okay, so let's just wait to see if she.
Well, I'm gonna just talk while that's going on. Well, you know what I'll do? I'll move my microphone. All right, but I gotta move this whole little contraption over. And I'll extend the arm about as far as it's gonna go. Okay, that's about it. I'm just gonna lean this way today until we get these technical difficulties out of the way. They're not even difficulties, guys. There's no difficulties. There's just stuff that happens in the moment. You handle it. What is on your mind? How's the chat doing? Where is everyone saying hi from?
We have
Texas. I have family in Texas. I'm not from Texas, but I have family in Texas right outside of Dallas. Tell me what city you're in. Okay. Where else? Missouri. Woo! I've never made it up to Missouri. And from Oz. Oz is in the house in Australia. Love. Can I tell you about Australia, guys? Australia is, as a psychic medium over the years, I kind of have my psychic finger on the pulse of the planet at times, not all the time. But when I drop in and I go, let me just feel what's going on the earth, and I can feel like where energy is rising, where kind of people are really focusing in more at a particular moment in time on opening the third eye, and consciousness in Australia is like this resurgence of energy. We've been meeting people from Australia.
Yep.
Just was it yesterday? We were at this place called Mr. Charlie's, which is an amazing place. If you're ever in the LA area, check out Mr. Charlie's. It's this vegan, basically a vegan McDonald's. And we're not vegan, but I do like to eat vegan many times. And amazing, amazing. They actually made a vegan Big Mac called the Big Chuck or something like that, and it's fantastic. Nailed the flavor profile. I love when people kind of just hone in on the frequency because that's what we're doing in life, right? We're about how do you hit that frequency creatively? I feel that the spirit guides, this is what they guide us on, how to be in that frequency. Because no matter what, wherever you are focusing your energy, this is what the creative energy is. If it's about your family, about a relationship, it's about you're a painter or you're an inventor, singer especially, you hit that frequency, find your voice. And for me, this is what the spirit guides messages have always been about, is dropping in to that.
So speaking of dropping in, here's what we're gonna do. We're having major audio problems tonight. I'm really trying to figure out if we're gonna have this show tonight. People are saying we're dropping in and out. Riz is
really?
coming in and out.
Oh,
Just so you guys know, every single piece of our equipment is brand new, and everything is done correctly. So I think this is a operating system
yeah,
issue
it might
with
be.
OBS.
Let's hear.
So
how
so
things
far,
are going.
so far, people are saying audio is fading out, audio is fading in and out. So that's
Okay.
what people are saying.
So here's what we'll do: is that we'll take 2 minutes.
See right here.
Okay. How is it? Is audio dropping in and out? Okay. So what we'll do is we'll just use the mic on the camera here. We won't even use this, and people will hear us just fine. So why don't we try that? And do you want to log off and come back in?
No, I think we can unplug the mics.
Just wait while we do this. We're going to unplug the mic and move it out of the way.
Okay. So I'm gonna unplug this.
Right.
Erica, keep us updated moment
I'll
by
let you know.
moment.
So we're still on the delay right now.
Okay.
So it's fading in and out. I'll let you know as soon as it comes back in.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the iPhone camera. So the iOS camera says it's picking us up, but we're on a delay, so we're gonna wait and see
Okay.
if
Yeah, it's still delayed. I'll let you know.
okay.
All right. Thank you.
So
Thank-
hang on, you guys. We're figuring this stuff
Okay,
out.
so now I have you on the mic. It's echoey, but I can hear you. It's not fading in and out.
And you could hear both of us?
Yeah.
Sure. All right. So
Just
guys.
definitely speak louder.
Okay, Skylar says better.
All right. Good. So we're just
Okay,
gonna roll with
audio
it.
all good. Yay!
Hey, these are the special times when
I
we.
hate audio.
It's not even anything to worry about. The way I look at it is that
Oh my god.
when you just kind of just roll with things, you have to roll with things. You get more upset than I do about
Do you
it.
guys have like a partner who one of you freaks out when everything goes wrong and the other one gets very calm? So which one are you? Are you the calm one or the freak out one? So I think I generally freak out more than you, I think.
I
You
freak out
get
over
really quiet
when big
and
things.
calm.
You know what it is? When big things, so-called big things happen, I'm very calm. Little things, wouldn't you say little things? Sometimes I'll be like, why is that like that?
Yeah.
Why is this over here rather
So
than
yeah,
over
he'll
here?
freak out if this. So if this is not exactly right, that's his freak out. I freak out if like all the equipment fails at once.
You want to know what it is? It's kind of like where you were raised. Like, so I was born and raised on the East Coast, born in Harlem, raised in the Bronx. She's just very California. And then what happened was when we got together, I started becoming more California. You started becoming more New York. You started becoming more New York gangster like I used to be. And then I started becoming like I never ever, like I was born on a surfboard or something.
Right.
But I will say this.
Yeah, you're more laid back and chill.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter. But anyway, we like to share these conversations with you. I have been thinking about something that I was wondering if you guys have been thinking about as well. That I saw a meme. This meme was great. The meme said, if I walked outside right now and I saw a fire-breathing dragon flying overhead, I'd be surprised, but not surprised. Do you get it? Like, there's so many things happening in the world that you're like, oh, the aliens are, the government says the aliens are real. Oh, okay. And okay. Oh, there's a dragon flying by. Oh, okay. So many things are happening. And as we're going through every single day, we're just seeing so many things happen in the world. There are things that happen in the world that are so painful, from natural occurrences, from the fires, the earthquakes, the tsunamis, and all those things that have been happening since time immemorial. Then you kind of live life as you're becoming more aware, and you say, well, what do I focus on? Because can I be happy while this thing is happening? Is it fair for me to be happy while this is happening? But you have to be. Your purpose in life, and I will tell you, is this. I like to say that you don't have a purpose. Machines have a purpose. Your life itself, the purpose is, if you were to even say that, don't even say there is a purpose to your life. Not that you should be depressed about that. Oh, he's saying life has no purpose. No, I'm actually getting down to the word purpose. something to do something to facilitate something else. And we're getting really tripped up in that word. So I like to say objects, machines, technology have a purpose. Life is love. Love's purpose is just itself. Itself. It's totally surrendering to itself. And as a channeler and as a medium, how I take in all the messages from the guides over and over and over again has always been this, is that you live in the now. And you will decide what vibration inside of you helps you and helps others. If you're living inside chaos and guilt and pain and regret, that doesn't leave you the energy, that doesn't help you, and that certainly doesn't help somebody else. So you have to stay in your openness and in your flow. It isn't about you ignore the terrible things happening in the world and your head's in the woo or the woke or just the starlight, as people call it, or just the kind of the etheric new age thing. That's not what the real new age is about. That's not what awareness is about, your own spiritual awakening. What that really is about, as I've seen it and learned it, is the taking in of all things as source energy. You can call it God, you can call it the universe, you can call it fate, whatever you want to call it, is that it is always now, it is there forever, and in that now, you are experiencing and interpreting and reacting in accordance with whether you believe this should happen or shouldn't happen. So over and over again as a psychic medium, I'm constantly getting this question, what is my purpose? And then of course I give them the answer, you don't have a purpose. You're not a car. You're here to celebrate your life. You're here to enjoy your life. Just leave it at that. Oh, okay, how can I enjoy my life more? I need to have this career going. I need to have this relationship or not have this relationship, and so on and so on and so on.
Sometimes it's just these little moments where you just like look at something really beautiful and you just have a moment. It seems silly and it's not like super important, but sometimes going back to the basics and going back to these little moments and having a sense of humor, because God knows we have to have a sense of humor. What choice do we have, really? You have to have a sense of humor.
I mean, if you look at the most popular Buddha statues that sell, it's the one of him laughing. And that's amazing because it's the cosmic joke. It's where he hits his head and goes, you mean I was loved the whole time? You mean I'm eternal the entire time? You mean that everything was about actually how I was seeing it the entire time? That there is no death, there's only life, where planet Earth is a school. This is a reality created. I wanted to say something about, people have been asking me, is this a simulation? Oh, we're in the simulation, we're in the simulation. No, we're not in a simulation. The word is completely incorrect. A simulation means that we are simulating. To simulate something means that you are simulating something else that is more real. Or all of our tribe that is like, I'm from the Pleiades, I'm from Andromeda, and I'm from Sirian, and I'm from this dimension or that dimension. Wherever you go, there you are. Maybe if you had a chance and you were finally in the Pleiades, where you may be from, but then you get there, and then what'll happen? Maybe the other Palladians will say, oh, our ancestors came from another dimension. And then now you're going to start saying, oh, what's the dimension before the Pleiadian dimension? How far are we going to take this, guys? It is about how you breathe it in, how you live it in the now. It's not about you're simulating somewhere else. So the word simulation is certainly incorrect. If you want to use even the word holographic reality, even that's incorrect. Why? Well, because you still are here interfacing in the physical 3D. You feel pain, you feel pleasure, you feel resistance, you feel flow. All of that is happening. You live in this physical body. It ain't here to be forever. And why this is important, I think, just to talk about, is that when we are diving into psychic work or psychic energy or the psychic reality, because I've been doing readings since, well, unofficially since I was 7 years old, and officially maybe 17 years. It's thousands of readings. So how do I break that down for you guys? Because you're going to have questions tonight, and the questions are coming in, and you know, we're going to flow with it, and whatever I feel I'm supposed to answer, that's how I'm going to do it, guys, because that's how psychic energy works. It's kind of like, okay, that's the one I got to talk about right now. And for me, it's always about that flow. It's kind of like if some of you musicians out there, it's like improvisation on an instrument. You kind of are going where spirit is taking you. So I do give answers about the 3D, meaning, oh, you know, if it's a physical move, it's a physical thing happening with the body. I do address those physical realities. And then there's things that are about how the spiritual movement of your life is going. So where psychic work is going more and more now is now we have an equal amount of understanding how to create energy and move forward, as well as the predictions and the details about things that are happening, as could be your physical past life, could be your extra dimensional lifetimes that you have perceived and can feel and you know for yourself. So all of these things is mysteries. That's why we call it meta mystic, because it is meta time. Mm-hmm. How's everybody doing?
There's quite a few people waiting. Some questions. So it's up to you when you want to get started.
Well, let me see how you want to say. You want to talk a little bit about anything that I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm going to look through and see what as you talk, I'm going to kind of go through and see what I'm feeling.
Trust me, you guys, in real life, we do talk together, okay? It just doesn't happen here. So as far as the simulation, the projection, what I think is going on is there's a projection. And I think that projection is like a dream state. It's similar to when you're dreaming and you project yourself into this character. And I feel like this is a version of that, this reality, what we're doing. But, you know, I saw some people here that are talking about mental health issues. And, you know, mental health issues, I mean, anybody could really say that right now, because there's a lot of things going on this planet as the rug is being shaken and things are being turned upside down and inside out. People are seeing through things. There's transparency. Structures are changing. Infrastructures are changing. Old structures are hopefully going out. New structures are coming in. Several generations having different opinions, and they're trying to make their input matter in this planet right now. And so it could be very upsetting and off-putting, and you can be very disturbed by everything that you're seeing and hearing. And then if people go from being religious to not religious, or going from not believing in God to believing in God, to people who have been at jobs for 40 years and then decide they want to move out of the country and go do something else. And, you know, this is, a lot of people are changing right now. And the status quo, the traditional way of doing things for years and years and years, as we've seen people do in our history, it's completely changing. And it's like, if you hold on tight here, and if you continue to try to listen to the same propagandas and the same news outlets and the same conversations, if you try to eat the same foods, the same processed foods, the same high sugar and sodium content, if you keep trying to do the same behavior and try to get a different result, it's not going to happen. You guys are not going to come into the clearing that you want to come into, which is coming out of this mental instability. And it's just a lot of emotional upheaval. It's a lot of difficulties within your system. Your body suffers, your nervous system suffers, you have a hard time sleeping. It clicks on all sorts of things like inflammation and many high stress cortisol reactions in the body. So a lot of people who think they're suffering from just mental illness, plain and simple, that's it, throw away the key, that's not actually the case. There's so much more to look at. You have to reverse engineer every single thing that you're doing in your life before you really can get to the point to really assess where you're at. Because I absolutely thought I had mental illness, and I have good reason for that, because of all my divorces and having 5 children and going through life in the hard way, and everybody dying in my family, and half my family ignoring me and not talking to me because I'm spiritual now. And so I really was suffering a lot. And I have a lot of videos on that too, by the way.
So what do you think is...
But I found out it wasn't mental illness.
Well, what is mental illness,
well,
right?
But that's a heavy topic to go into, to break down, and we're not qualified to talk about that, right? However, we can talk about how we can reverse engineer it.
As a shaman,
that part we can talk about.
Okay, but I want to speak about it as, no, I don't believe that that psychiatrists are the only ones to qualify to talk about mental illness. Right, because
but we're still in an age where there's heavy controversy on this topic. So you have to be very clear about how we speak about it. So we're not diagnosing anyone, and we're not telling anybody if they
That's
have
true.
something or not. But we are being very clear about looking at other alternatives. If you think you have a mental illness or you are experiencing mental illness, make sure you look at all the things around you supporting this situation and causing it to be this way. It could be your living environment, it could be your physical body, it could be what you're eating, it could be your emotional state, it could be because you're having a rebirth, it could be because you are letting go of the old, you're coming into the new. You have no idea what can be causing this. So before you write yourself off and say, that's it, I have mental illness, I guess I'm a mess, start looking into, wait, it could be that you just haven't looked at everything yet. You just haven't looked at everything yet.
Right. So, as a shaman, what I would say to you is there are many times in my shamanic work, and I think it's everything. The perspective is a shamanic perspective. What I see is where the person is trying to come out of that shell that they're in, obviously due to the traumas that we have had. Now, the soul, eternal, light, freedom, flow, consciousness, power, one with great spirit. And as you are in this earth journey of your school, right, this is your spiritual path. There comes a point where you have to accept that what you're seeing as a reality around you is your path. You are not off of your path. So when it comes to this idea of mental illness, and certainly the authorities, let's put the quotation marks there comes a point in time where through our own observation and understanding of ourself, through the ancient teachings of understanding yourself as an eternal being, and that this reality also is a school rather than a place where things happen to you. Rather, it is a school for you to become whom you are here to be. You begin to see certain things. There were channelers many centuries ago that were channeling, and they were ostracized or said that they were crazy or that they were schizophrenic or whatever it may be. And as time has gone on, that conversation has become so complex because there are real world concerns. Families are concerned about family members. But what we're talking about here right now is the part of you, and the people who watch this show especially, are the ones who are becoming more and more aware of how they're creating their reality. And at the same time, they're saying, whoa, what is the distinction between me and this, what's happening inside as I'm awakening, and I'm seeing the contrast with everything else out there in the world. And that space in between. And here is where I'm going to my first question. Tracy Marie, hi, I saw your question about your sad heart. What is a sad heart? That means that you've been disappointed. That's all a sad heart is you're disappointed. You might say, well, I'm disappointed you could have been disappointed at yourself. You could be disappointed at other people. But that's what life is. You're either disappointed at something with yourself or something with other people. That's life. You're not disappointed in the trees. You're not disappointed in the mountains, are you? So you're disappointed in the human experience. That's what a sad heart is. So the human experience could be that you lost someone, and so that's the sad heart. The sad heart could be that you wanted someone to be a certain way or things turning out a certain way. Another aspect of the sad heart is there's something missing, Tracy Marie. There's just something missing. You look at all the blessings you have in your life, and of course you do have them. And then you start to see that something is missing. Would be very soft, flexible, and open here, because psychically what this means is that you are in your ascension process. So what is your ascension process? It's interesting. Your ascension process actually doesn't go like this. Look at how my hand is going. I don't know if my hand's going off the screen or not. Your ascension process actually goes like this. You're coming down into the center of your being. Your ascension actually is actually going into the center of yourself. Okay? So it's not about you being out there flying around with all of our ET friends. That's just a reality. But you're here in the centeredness of your being. I think what's happening is that you hit the wall, which you have to do in your spiritual ascension, expansion, dropping in. And that, I want to say, it is that awkward phase that can sometimes last years, guys. It can sometimes last years. You go, I've been going through this rebirth since 2019. You may very well may have been going through it for even longer. What I'd like to do, and what I do, and what Oriah does, is we help you how to understand it so that it goes, I want to say, more peacefully inside of you. Look at people who have gone through terrible physical conditions and have come back through them. Some people say you can't make a bone heal faster, but guess what? There have been very interesting studies where people who drop in and focus on visualizations like little people made of light working in on your bone and helping it heal, doing visualizations every day. Those people have been proven to heal faster. So Tracy Marie, you have to notice where your thoughts are. When you say, I have a sad heart, it has everything to do with your psychic power of your thoughts, because they're being directed into where you just don't feel good, and that repetition. But I can guarantee you that that is not actually who you are. This is just a program on loop of you've been just used to disappointment. Again, you might say, well, it's really not about, I'm not disappointed in myself at the end or other people I know, I'm doing my best, others are doing their best. Okay, so what I'm getting to is that it's something else. It is your final surrender, that you're not in the wrong place at the wrong time, that every moment of your life is full of this potential power of joy. And guys, when we talk about every subject on this show, from Sasquatch to UFOs to the Loch Ness Monster to spirit guides to paranormal activity to holographic reality to dimensions to spirit guides, we talk about everything. But I will tell you, it doesn't mean anything to me if we are not talking about surrendering to the magic and the love of the moment of the now. It doesn't mean anything without that, right? Because what do you have if you don't have your health? What do you have if you don't have your spiritual health? You have nothing. So you don't have your physical health, you don't have your spiritual health.
Yeah, I want to say a couple things about that.
All right. Now, as you do that, I'm going to look around, okay?
Yeah, but I want you to see a couple things first. I want you to see Jerry's.
Hey.
I want you to see his. Where did it go? It's way back here.
Okay, that's what I just passed that.
There.
Okay.
Wait, no. He's right here.
Okay, why don't you talk and I'll just find it. And I can just scroll through and I'll find Jerry.
You could also go to my text right here, and Erica also confirmed what he said, so you can read it.
Okay.
You have to read it.
I sure will.
Okay, so... Oh, there it is. Right there.
Okay.
Okay, guys, so listen. Think about it this way. So have you ever detoxed anything? So if you detoxed your body, detoxed your skin, detoxed... cleaned out something with a detergent, anything where you have to remove what's there and change it into something else, you'll always notice it kind of bubbles up and gets worse first before it clears up, right? So this is what my take is, and what our take is on what's happening on the planet right now, is that all these things that have been building under the surface, that have been hidden, that have been quiet, that have been out of view, with our modern technology and with our communication styles that we have now, everything is coming to the surface. So especially the empaths and the people who are very sensitive, if you pay close attention to every single news article, every single murder, everything that's going wrong, every natural disaster, it's okay to understand and see it. But if you take it in and you let it affect you like I was doing, it totally just like irritates your nervous system. You get migraines, you get inflammation, you get really sick, and you start to feel like you're dying. So what's happening is that we're all becoming very, very aware of each other, and we're all starting to really see through people, and people that we had on high pedestals and our icons and the people we looked up to. We're seeing that they're human, and we're seeing their fallible side. We're seeing that things are not what they used to be or what they thought it should be or could be or was. So it's like we're all going into a new state of enlightenment.
Right.
It's a grand awakening that's happening to everyone. And the best way to get through these types of situations is to let go of the tight grip that you have on what you think life should be like right now. That's a big one. So if you have it really tight that you think that it should be this way and this way and this way, and they should be like this, and everyone should act a certain way, you're going to notice how you're going to feel inside. And that is going to become priority number one, is how you feel inside. And that's going to be your number one focus. If you're smart and you pay attention that your life means something and it's important to you and everyone else. So you have to start focusing on what feels better for you. So take less time looking at things that disturb you. Do what you can to help others, but don't drag yourself in it with them, because then you are going to just be in that soup. And if you're in that soup, how can you help anyone?
So I got a couple of, hey guys, I'm reading some of your messages. Thank you. Love all the stuff you're saying. I'm going to just go through a bunch because Red Eagle, my guy, some of you know him, is just telling me to just go through a few. And, we're just going to flow through, and I'm going to see what I want to say here. Okay, cool.
So,
hey, Bernadette, you had a terrible past life regression vision last night. Some people do past life regressions, and or they do it themselves, and it can be super traumatizing. What I want to say here to you, the moment that I saw your name, I just wanted to tell you I have a message from Kuan Yin for you about this is you doing your shadow work. Now, this shadow work has everything to do with how you are physically feeling safe, Bernadette, on the planet, meaning where you are sensitive to light, sound, really about how close people stand next to you and that kind of thing. And I just got to scroll one by one because I got to keep my hand on there, honey, if you don't mind. Because they're telling me to go through it. So don't worry, you're just moving through that. Baron Von Crunch. I love that name. I want to say...
I have to interrupt you.
You do?
Yes.
Why?
So when people pay for super chats, you got to do those first.
Okay. Well,
yeah, so you missed some.
I did. Okay,
yeah,
I'll go back to them.
So
but
you have to go back to them.
But I got to tell you something, because I got to go with the guides are saying, and they're telling me to go for you, Baron Von Crunch. You sound like a great cereal, like Captain Crunch. That's a compliment. Don't worry. I'm not messing with you. I actually love the name. Yes. Could you relay a message from my mother, Linda Jo? I actually can. And I just wanted to say this to you is, by the way, I was wondering, Baron Von Crunch, and you can run this by me. Could you go back there? Because I have to focus on him. Is there somebody who ran track in your family or was in that kind of sporting event, where people run track or do hurdles or marathons or something? Because I just wanted to know about that. The other thing I wanted to say to you is, one of the things that is coming through is you don't have to, if you haven't been going or doing like celebrating the anniversary of, I don't mean celebrating the anniversary of death, you know what I mean by acknowledging when someone's death anniversary happens, or not going to the cemetery or something like that, you don't have to worry about that. It's like she's coming through to tell me that. Another thing is, I just see this color blue that keeps coming through, and I don't know whether this is somebody's blue car or blue something. I'd love to know what that's about. The other thing I want you to know is that she's putting her hand on your back. So I don't know if you've had some back problems or spinal stuff going on. Also going into the bronchial tube, so something about the way you're breathing, or if you've had, or whether this is her or you, I don't know, but she's showing me that, the lungs and the breathing. Let me go to the next, and of course, just tons of love.
This is the one you're on.
That's the one that I'm on. Thank you so much for giving me a separate window. So Baron Von Crunch, that was yours. Okay.
And then you did have, I guess you gave a message to Bernadette. She responded?
Yes. Did she respond?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to take me to the super chat one?
Yes.
I did Tracy Marie.
And then Marcella, and then Jerry Dunn.
Okay, let me see where Marcella is. Okay, let's see where Marcella's question is. There she is. Would love to hear any message from my guides going through a difficult breakup. Yes. I don't know if the message will be about the breakup, because I just ask the guides and they just tell me what you should need to hear at the moment. Number one thing is, Marcella, you are like a locomotive train. You know what I mean? Like when that powerful railroad used to run on the tracks, and this was to slow you down. You were moving really fast, and I still feel like you are moving really fast. This is a time to not ask questions so much to yourself. You can ask me, but don't ask to yourself, why did this happen? All that kind of stuff. This is a time for you to actually breathe and physically let go, because I feel with you especially, it's almost as if like the life force gets sucked out of you during this time, and that you're just running on fumes, on nervous energy. So number one thing, calming. Your whole purpose right now for this is to just do things that are calming. So like putting your hands in the soil, going up to the tree and breathing, like standing in the middle of the tree where the tree branches are coming down and you're just touching the leaves, and just put them on your face. Be barefoot, breathing in deep. Now, this can be hard when you're going through a breakup, to actually force yourself to breathe. If you can't do breathwork exercises or things like that, then exhaust yourself. Do the spin class, run, do something where you need to get air in your lungs, is what I'm feeling, where you're just panting on the ground and the body is taking over rather than the mind, and you're returning back to center. Let's go here.
Do you want to see some responses from some of the
Sure.
earlier?
Yes.
So, and then Tracy said that.
Okay, got it.
And then I guess...
That was for the person before. Sorry, Baron Von Crunch. Let me go back to you. The track and field was, I was still on Tracy Marie and the lung thing. Okay. Tracy, sorry to hear that so much about your lung. Baron Von Crunch, what happens sometimes is the message about track and field and the lung thing was for the person before. Things go so fast. Let me go back to you again. Yes. Okay. I don't know where you're located, Baron Von, but I would say this to you is that I just keep seeing mountains around you and where you need to be, and that is just for a couple of days, but that's kind of like what I feel your mom is surrounded by right now on the other side, is that's the kind of physical also the name James is coming up. I don't know, James or Jack, I don't know if that means anything to you or to her, but that's coming up. Also connection. Let me go here. Okay, there. Rain. Huh?
You skipped Jerry, so you have to do that one. That was earlier.
Well, Jerry, I keep hearing ketamine. So ketamine is a treatment that really brings and calms your nerves down. Please look into that. Brother, I'm so sorry to hear that you've had that kind of panic or anxiety attack, but it does not seem to be a physical thing wrong with you. It is just a build-up of that energy because you are a sensitive soul, and this was just building up. But I do feel a couple of those treatments, look into it, could really, really help you drop in and will help you stabilize all of that emotional energy that runs so powerfully through you. You know, you're so amazing when you direct your energy and your emotions creatively, and the love you have for your friends, and everybody feels it so strongly. Well, the flip side of that is that when something upsets you, or you've been waiting for something and you've been suffering through something, then that also builds up. So it's equally powerful. You have to learn how to use that amazing, powerful emotional engine of yours, brother. It's a mastery, as you know. We send you much love.
Okay, so you have...
The question, Rain, is about me and my father. I've always felt I'm carrying this generational trauma with him. He and I have always bumped heads. Will we ever become close? We have this wall. So when there's a wall, you have to feel for the door, Rain. When there's a wall and you're just feeling your way through this maze, you have to find what is the doorknob here. Now that doorknob is going to be your way into him, or it's going to be your exit out of this conversation. What I'm getting here right now is back off. Just back off right now. It feels very hot to the touch still. It's like a hair trigger with him. I also feel that it's almost like he grew up with a militaristic mindset around him, which was watching every move he made, in a sense. And this isn't your fight, in a way. It's actually not about you. Sometimes it is about you and that other person, but this is not necessarily about you. So I would back off with love, meaning that you have a lot of other things to pay attention to creatively. If you understand that you chose him to play this role right now, then you're able to remove your energy with more peace rather than screw him, I don't care, and whatever, and he should know better. That energy is not going to serve you or him. Those are very short-term escapes, but right now you're reaching into a new place spiritually, and that new place spiritually is to bless and to know when it is your time to bring your energy back to yourself and release. Okay.
There's Tiffany.
Hi, Tiffany. My brother Richard is incarcerated. He feels wrongfully punished in the time give. Yes, I feel that immediately. When do I see him coming home? Well, I definitely, okay, very quickly, I want to say that the first thing that comes up is new trial. I see twice. So this would have to be appealed at least twice. Okay, next one.
These two.
Okay. Any ideas around places I should visit? This is from Shudda. Any ideas around places I should visit or how to connect to my female ancestors or guides? Shudda, remember something, as I think you perhaps know, but a reminder for you and everybody, you have ancestors from this lifetime that are kind of like you, this skin color, whatever ethnicity you are this lifetime, but you have ancestors from other lifetimes. They are with you also. So female, interesting you use the word because apparently you're wanting to feel that connection and support. So give me a moment what I feel here. How to connect or visit. Okay, I do feel with the place that you should visit is Glastonbury, England. There is a very strong vortex of divine feminine energy in Glastonbury. So look into that. Another place that you can visit is very powerful for connecting to your female guides or ancestors, which is the Birthing Rock Cave in Sedona. So find that. I take people there. Next year you can come with us or you can go on your own, but it is a place where the Hopi women would go and give birth alone. Can you imagine being alone and going into this giant cave overlooking the landscape? You're by yourself. This was the sacred ritual or tradition that was done back then. So I do feel that the guide working with you is Guinevere, and that's why Glastonbury is coming up. Shut up. Lakeisha, yes. So let's talk about, I saw your question earlier about this not being dragged into 9-to-5 world. Okay. I'm going to give you a little bit of, who's got Red Eagle's messages coming through. So he wants you to know that you have actually not unleashed your power yet. And that's why it feels like the balance between 9-to-5 work and your spiritual work in terms of finances seems to be in conflict with each other because you feel that this 9-to-5 work is in the way of this. But where your power has to be released, and it's interesting because we just finished talking to Sharath about the divine feminine energy or the mothering energy, is here's where you have to step into big mama energy. What is that? Well, that is that you imagine if you had 3-4 kids, what would you do? You'd be doing all your spiritual readings and you would have a job, a regular job that's regular money, so to speak, as your spiritual practice business is building. So you have to tap into this part of you. This is a big birth for you, Lakeisha, because this is about leaving that. I feel that, okay, thank you. Red Eagle saying you have a fear of leaving your youthfulness behind. You feel you're getting older and tired and you gave into the so-called matrix. You're not giving into the matrix. Forget that word for now. Your reality is your reality. You know, mama needs to eat. Mama needs to go buy some nice crystals. She also needs to go and see the world. So you are a healer no matter where you go. You know, some of the most powerful healers I've met have been sitting and working at the counter behind a bank or at the Jiffy Lube where I get my oil changed. And I'm like, the guy's helping me. And I'm like, this guy's a healer. You think I don't need to tell him to start learning how to work with crystals or whatever the things that we all do. He's already doing it. He's being of service in Jiffy Lube. And he's totally at peace because his life is about the love and the family and the friends, and he's in it. He's present. You're getting pulled in past or future, and all you have to do, Lakeisha, is just realize that this rebirth is you stepping into your big mama power. Hi, Kim. I'd love some guidance. Yes, I'll go there in a second. Thank you. I got to go to Kara first. And then I'll go to you, Kim. Kara, hi. Can I please have a message from my guides about my love life? Is there a love life right now? Because I'm not feeling it. Wait, like where I'll meet my next soulmate partner. I enjoy being single. I didn't feel love life just yet, but I'd also like to meet someone. You know, I channeled a message from the goddess Hathor today. Did you see it on Instagram?
No.
So what Hathor, who is the Egyptian goddess, you should look her up. So I was in my channeling state this morning, and a couple of times a week I just make these memes where the message comes through, and it was about this very thing, Kara, that you were doing. And so I feel Goddess Hathor with us right now. And as far as timelines, I do want to give you a timeline. It ain't far. Springtime is where I see you're going to get very sparked. Interesting, because I see the message also is connected to you being very happy this holiday season, being single. You allowing yourself to celebrate being on the planet and with your friends, and a lot of hugs and gift giving, thoughtful gift giving, like giving. The message is give people little gifts. And I think you do this, but this is going to be a little bit more focused this year, is that make them feel that you know them well. Because this is where your wizardry, your magic comes in. This is where the goddess Hathor, what she represents, is that coming forward with this abundant love. So go to my Instagram and read that meme that I channeled just this morning on your very question, okay? Okay, Kim, so I would love some guidance about earning a good income online again. I've been stuck the last 2 years and not sure on a good way to do so starting over. Wasn't e-commerce, but want something else. But you want to do it online, but isn't e-commerce and online the same thing? Am I mistaken?
Yeah. I think would love some guidance about earning a good income online again. Yeah, so she wants to stick to e-commerce.
Okay.
Oh, so it sounds like she's getting burned out in what she was doing, and she's wanting to go, be reignited and continue working in e-commerce.
I'd like a little clarification on that before I answer about what you're saying, because you said...
So Maria is a member.
Hi, Maria.
Thank you for being a member, Maria.
I'll come back to you, Kim. Just give me a clarification on what you mean by your question. Okay, Maria, any financial advice? Well, I have 2 financial advices for you right off the top. I do want to talk about where I see the future financial with you, and then where I see it currently. Number 1, remember that investment and speculation are 2 different words. Investment and speculation are 2 different words. So they do get clouded because you want to project that, okay, what I'm putting my money into, this will build something. So I do see that in the future it is in collaboration, partnership with someone who is doing something actually in financial services. That's actually what I see. So you might be deciding to partner with them or put money into it, or you're just pulled into learning that in some way. It's actually about money. You've had, interesting, what's coming forward very quickly for you is that you've had in other lifetimes kind of a golden touch. Like you know when something is going to work, you just second guess it for yourself. So it is about you getting behind that right idea. That's the long-term financial message I have for you, Maria. The other thing that I have to tell you is it's more of that spiritual energy kind of message about this. It is where you will read a lot of things online about law of attraction, about coming from lack. I don't need to tell you about that. You can read about that. I'm here to talk to you about where it's almost like this lifetime you've looked around and you're like, what happened to my palace? What happened to my jewels? What happened to my crown? Like, it's like you don't even understand where all of this changed for you, like psychically. And it's this confusion. And you're like, well, I just want to be comfortable. Yeah, but what kind of comfortable? Some people are comfortable in coach, and some people are only comfortable in first class. The universe doesn't care about what you decide. It's only going to just respond to what you decide. So you can say, well, I'm comfortable in coach. Okay, so stay in coach. If you say I'm no longer comfortable there, then somehow Spirit's going to move you up. And when we say Spirit, we're talking about you as one with understanding what you are. Now, what do I mean by that? You know how some people say what you deserve? I never say about what you deserve, because all of that is loaded with crap about I worked so hard and there are things against me, and all you go down the wormhole with that. Not good. What I want you to do is not use what do I deserve. I want you to go back to what do I align with and what do I resonate with, and that's where that resonance then brings it in more powerfully for you. You're right around the corner from it.
Do you need to take a break for a second? How you feeling?
I could do. I feel awesome. I'm on a roll.
There's quite a few.
All right,
Okay,
let me
so
see.
We have Bernadette.
Bernadette, hello. I think I gave her a message earlier, but yes, what are the names of my guides? Sure. Give me a moment. Oh, this is really interesting. So I saw two guides immediately when I look at your question. For me, it's the moment I kind of see a name or I feel I drop into what's happening there. So you have a beautiful guide working with you who's in kind of like an elemental guide. It's the energy, if the way I could describe it, you know when the ocean crashes on the shore, there's like a mist, or it's not a foam, it's like a mist that comes up off of it. Is there a word for that?
Spray. Is
Well,
it the mist that
yes,
comes
yes,
off
yes,
of it?
yes.
I think
Off
it's
of
called
the
spray.
But it's that feeling of effervescence.
Yeah.
And your elemental guide is coming through like this. And one of the messages from this guide is you need to do some art therapy. Art therapy. This doesn't mean become an artist. It just means art therapy. Look it up, and this will be a great release for you. Name of the guide. What a beautiful name. The name of the guide is Shenandoah. Shenandoah. Isn't that beautiful? Wow. Okay, next one. Let's see what we got over here. Oh, this is powerful. I just passed it. Where'd you go?
By the way, you guys, this is cat number 3.
This is the old school.
Do you know they're taking turns, right? So she's 13 years old. She's a healer cat. She has a really long story of how many people she has sat on during their shamanic journeys and how many readings she's been a part of and how many laps she sat on during the Circle of Light. And she's the big mama to the two little black, the newer ones. They're like 2 years old, Erica?
Yeah.
So every time we film so far, a different cat wants to come and have their turn to say hello.
Look at her. She's not even wanting to jump down.
And you can kind of see her face. She has a lot of wisdom and a lot of attitude. And she's really small.
This is Baby Spice, by the way, but that's her official legal name, but her nickname is Mooney.
That's her government name.
Her government name is Baby Spice. And many of you know her. For many years, she was look at that face. She was the official healer cat at Red Eagle Ranch when we lived.
She used to walk in between.
In the Circle of Light.
Like 30 strangers and didn't care. She would sit on their lap and go from lap to lap.
Yeah, so imagine a 100-year-old house where we would have our channeling circle twice a week for so many years, and the living room was filled with people, candlelight, big messages coming from the spirit guides, and she walks in and starts landing on people's laps who are getting messages. She's really quite a healer, and she's done a lot of good work.
She's loving this attention right
She
now.
is. Okay, Buckshot 24. There was a James that came through earlier. I don't know if you saw that. You were asking about your cousin James who died on 9/11. And if you scroll back, you will hear me say there's a name James coming through. And sometimes this bleed through happens, guys. So bear with us, because when we do online readings, there's so much energy coming at me. And I'm tuning in that it's like I open the door and 50 people are walking in. So I'm trying to give a message to the Baron about his mom, and then James is jumping in. So, I'm trying to get everybody organized. While I'm talking to you, there's another part of me talking to them that's going, can you guys just slow it down? So you think this chat is going fast? The chat that's going on up here psychically is like there's so many people here. So he did come through earlier, which tells me great, 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 happy, happy, happy. He is rocking and rolling, and he's like the captain of a boat on the other side. Your cousin James. It's like I see a captain's hat, and I just see this beautiful boat, and I see him on the ocean and doing really well. Is there a connection to Long Island, New York? I don't know what it is, but beautiful coming through. Also, happy birthday, or there's an anniversary in March, Buckshot 24. I don't know what that's about. If you know, let me know in the chat. Shelly. Help on my upcoming move and where to go in 2024. You know, I thought it said help on my upcoming movie. There's too many clients in Hollywood for me. I keep seeing move as movie because I have clients who ask me that. How's my upcoming movie going to happen? On your upcoming move and where to go in 2024. Somebody asked me where to go in 2024. I say you come with us on our spiritual retreats because we've been doing it for 10 years. And of course, I'm going to say come with us. Why would I say go with anybody else? We go to the best places, Sedona, Shasta, Japan, Ireland, and India, and Egypt, and so many places that we go to in Salem, Massachusetts. Come with us and have a great time. If you don't want to come with us or somewhere else, what I do say is always go to a place that has that powerful spiritual energy. But for you, Shelly, I would say if it's not one of the places that is with us, I would say if you want to go outside of the country, the place that I feel really good about for you to go to. Oh, how interesting is that? What? Okay.
Buckshot says, yes, Long Island, and my mom's birthday is in March.
Buckshot, thank you. He says yes to the Long Island reference, and his mom's birthday's in March. Your mom's birthday's in March, so he's saying happy birthday to, I guess, his aunt, to your mom. Yes, back to you, Shelly. Where to go in 2024? So many places are spinning on the globe for me. Give me a moment. Interesting. I'm getting into the Mediterranean like Turkey or Greece. You lived a lifetime back then. Very ancient, Shelly. You'll feel it if you go. Okay, let me see.
So appeal it twice. Got it. Thanks. Okay.
All right, Tiffany. Okay. Hold on. I think I saw something that jumped out at me. Kara, you said if there's still time, can I have the name of the main guide working with me, please? You actually have an amazing artist working with you named Raphael, not the archangel, the artist, Raphael. Look him up. Okay.
Jessica has 7 cats. Oh my God. Girl, you have some nerve.
3, yeah.
I can barely handle 3. I don't even know what it would take to have 7. I can't even imagine it.
Okay.
I think you need to go further back.
Okay, I'm gonna go further back.
Yeah, go like, you could even go further back. There's some new ones that came in here.
Okay. Hey, Skylar. May I be next? Sure. What you picking up for me? I actually want you to pick up a camera and start taking and doing videos and filming things or taking pictures of things. I think that you're a visual storyteller somehow in there. That's the first thing that I'm getting. And you had a lifetime, your last lifetime. I see all these silent movies. I think you had something to do with them. And so as soon as I see that visual and I see that that's what you were a part of, is that there is your next chapter is channeling that out of you. Okay? Let's see here. Let me take a look.
I'm just responding to
Okay.
Painter Rough. Okay.
Okay, thank you. I just saw something. Hi, Joanna. Hi, Riz Oriah. We were about to embark on a major positive change in our life, but it seems like we're stuck. Everything pointed it to being the right direction. Any messages for us about this? When people drop out of your plan, Red Eagle, my guide, says, if you don't make the connection, consider it protection. If you don't make the connection, consider it protection. I know the delays really feel like delays, Joanna, but don't worry about that now. The first thing I just saw jumping off of the chat when I saw your name was that it had to be reorganized and recalibrated right now. So these big plans, they're not dead. They have to be tweaked. And the thing is that you had to experience this kind of disappointment of the stuckness because this little fire has to be relit. Because I feel that you were getting to that kind of finish line or that milestone, and what happened was you had burned so much fuel that you were probably going to just collapse a little bit after the finish line. Even though you thought you weren't, I feel like there wasn't enough gas in the tank. So what's happening now is you're going to be relit now. Allow that to happen. Okay. Yes, hi. Lakeisha, any messages from my late brother-in-law, Randy? Can you just stay on her for a second? Because I want to just, when I read the question, it helps me to, I'm going to see if he's coming through. Yes. I want to tell you something, Lakeisha. You have an artist working with you who was from not too long ago. His name is Keith Haring, Haring. A lot of artists are coming through. I think, these are the artists, many of these prolific artists, they were such channelers. Look up Keith Haring. He had a big movement. He kind of worked with the artists in the 80s of that big renaissance that happened in New York City in the 80s of graffiti and all of that. But he has a message. Your brother's hanging out with these artists right now. Your brother is saying his I don't know if this was, he's putting his hand on my heart, is his stroke? I don't know, or heart attack, something. He's like, but the reason I say that is because the way he's coming through, he's like, I'm all like this big, it's like this big lion heart when he's coming forward. Very, very strong, not frail. This is what he's saying, I am not frail, because this has to mean something to you. Also, there's a connection to, you said Randy, but I also hear a Ron or a Charles connected to this. I'd love to know who that is, but he's mentioning that name. Also, there's a name like Charlene or Sherry. Let me know if that's ringing a bell for you. Okay. Well, let's go. Let's go further down. What have we got? There's somebody in the green.
Yes.
One more for Bernadette. Should I continue my podcast? Whose idea is it in spirit? I'm not a people person. That's the whole reason why you're being forced to do a podcast. It's because when you're not a quote unquote people person, the whole thing in this lifetime is that you came to kind of, to check off those boxes, Bernadette, unless why you're going to have to come back here. So give it another 6 months and come through with a bigger sense of humor. I feel like you're not tapping into your sense of humor. You're holding back here, and that's why you're saying you're not a people person. You're holding back all those thoughts that you think you shouldn't say. Well, probably you shouldn't say some of them, but some of them are going to be kind of invigorating for people to hear. It might be a little bit controversial, but you can't please everybody, especially in today's day and age. You can say anything, and you say one thing, you'd be like, oranges. You could just say oranges, and someone will write to you about, how could you talk about oranges like that? Don't you know what's going on? Like, oh my God. I can't stand that. Okay. What is the best? So, Jules, hi. Big sunshine emojis. What is the best thing for me to do for my health issues, please? What is the root cause? Give me a moment, Jules. So I will tell you the first thing that I feel. I do feel medical things with people. The first thing that I felt is that two things. Elevated pressure. So that means that could be blood pressure, but actually, yeah, that's what I'm feeling. I feel like your blood sugar is jumping up and down. So that number one thing is you probably already just recently started cleaning up your diet. The other thing is gut. Gut is true for everyone. I'm a big proponent of that, but I am getting that it is for you. This also feels very much has to do with, I have to go back almost 5 years, I'm going back 7 years with you. This is where I feel it started. And this was what was building up over time. I'm curious about it's almost like there is a complete imbalance of, I'm going to put this in a way that you're going to have to kind of figure out, because I come through as a psychic medium. I receive messages a little bit differently than if someone is scanning your blood, right? But that's kind of what I do. I kind of scan the body. Again, I keep going into the nerves, and I keep going into the circulation of the body. It doesn't feel right. So the first things first is the things that I addressed. The last thing I would say here is you have to really, and this is a bigger message, is you have to be living in a quieter, like you need quiet. I feel like that's what's also disturbing your nerves.
Okay.
Next.
Just a message from our guide.
Hi, Angela. A message that I need to hear. Big heart. Big heart to you back, Angela. I have a message from one of the guides that I channel. I channel Edgar Allan Poe, and he has a message for you. You are actually, you have a writer inside of you. There's a poet inside of you. It's very deep, actually. You're here now to start to let more of that magic out of you. That creative expression, that artist in you. The other thing that Angela, you feel so deeply. It's almost as if you can fall in an instant. You can fall in love, have an experience, break up with them. You can be like dating, married, and divorced within 3 seconds of kind of feeling that person. And it's because you feel everything so intensely that you go through the cycle in your mind really, really fast. That, you learning to slow that down. Just what do you do? Simple thing is just gratitude for every moment and allowing it to unfold, so you're not rushing ahead. Another thing is that you need to make sure the energy in your bedroom space is I feel it's stagnant. Immediately I feel that you need to either change the colors or change the sheets. Of course, your normal things like saging and Palo Santo and those things, and more of the getting rid of older things. I don't recommend having a lot of antiques or anything that have older energy for you specifically. Not for everyone, just for you. Freshening things up. And big sunflower kind of energy. Turn things around in terms of your color palette and how you are choosing things. Okay.
Tracy Marie.
Hi, Tracy Marie. 3/21 is my sister's in heaven's birthday. James is my stepdad in heaven. I'm 4th tribe, Red Stick Warriors, High Red Eagle. I'm psychic, but just not on myself. What are my guides' names? Can't wait to meet y'all in person. Thank you so much. Red Eagle says hi back. He usually just says a big hello. I always try to imitate Red Eagle. I can never do it. It always sounds like some Russian, Polish accent that comes out of me. Because he's his own person. Yes, I wanted to say, let me give you your guides' names that are working with you, for sure. But I want to say that the reason why you can't be psychic on yourself is because that's not what it's about. This life is about, interdependence. Not independence nor codependence, interdependence, just like nature is. There's nothing independent in this world. And a massage therapist cannot massage her own back. So we're all here for each other. I'm happy to relay messages for you. So look, I hope that you understand that you also had an Atlantean lifetime. that's very important for you to know. And one of the guides that I feel really works on this level is Archangel Metatron, and that's one of your guides here. Another guide that's working powerfully with you is this. I see his face. Give me a moment. That's Lao Tzu. Lao Tzu. I believe he was the founder of the Tao. I used to channel Lao Tzu years ago. He hasn't come through in many, many years. You know what's interesting is I don't know if you have anything in your house that has like Asian writing, but you should. Maybe buy a little piece of art that has things, or maybe even get a tattoo of some word like that and get it on like your wrist or your forearm. Very powerful. Your sister, just really quick, because there's a female energy coming through over here. She has the energy of like the goddess Diana. I mean, it's amazing. Very, very beautiful. Probably was very physically like impressive also, but that's how she is coming through to me right now, and wants you to know that. Very nice hands. Sapphire. She's wearing sapphires on her hands.
She's a member.
Hi, Miriam.
Thank you for being a member.
Thank you. We'll love it. Guys, you can get memberships. And okay, how do I get a reading? Well, the best way to get a reading, personal reading, is just to go to the website, and there's an online booking system. May I please have a message in regards to what I can look forward to in the future, specifically my living situation? I would love to live like a nomad.
Van life.
Well, you are a nomad in your spirit. That is no doubt about that, Mariam. But I would say this, is that, you know, a lot of people, they were doing this during lockdown. I knew a couple of people that just went and lived that life. Here's the thing. Oh, you have a very interesting guide working with you. Boy, it is an awesome... The door's open tonight, honey, and it is like they're just coming through one after another.
Yeah, you were gonna go a little slower.
I was going to go slower tonight, but it's just taken over.
Do you need to...
I'm going to take a little break after this, and you're going to just chat with everybody. But...
The heat is emanating.
Right? So there was an Indian... From India, Mariam, there was a great teacher. His name was Sai Baba. Not the one from... There's two of them. There's one from South India with the big afro. Not him. The other one who wore like a do-rag and had a white beard. So look him up. Look under Sai Baba. I think Shirdi Sai Baba, and then I think down in the south was Satya Sai Baba. But not the big guy with the fro, but the other one, because he's coming through to me with like the white beard and like a do-rag. That's what he looks like. He's with you. What a beautiful guide to have. Loved him. He was, you know what? He was kind of the wandering mystic, the wandering ascetic in India. And it's interesting, as I'm saying the word ascetic, Red Eagle says she's also quite aesthetic. Mariam is. You know what aesthetic means, right? It's when you really can pay attention to beauty, symmetry, form. You're really good with that. Probably you're very fashionable yourself, but when you're doing van life, you're going to have a different kind of... I feel like when you're doing van life, you can't you have to kind of wear the hippie clothes, right?
I think it's more casual.
You can't do, you can't really, but maybe that's going to be your style. You're going to be the fashionable van life person, and you can do a blog.
We got to move on.
All right, so I'm going to just chill and have some water.
Okay. So...
Gotta take a break, man, just for a few minutes, y'all. What do you want to talk about, honey?
I want to talk about the insects that are taking over our life right now because of the rains, and they're driving me crazy. So I have ordered and have purchased mosquito repellents, mosquito little diffusers. I have bought fly trappers, fly tape, those things that zap, because it rained so much here. I don't know how it was where you're from, but oh my God, did we get a lot of rain this last year in California. And every insect known to man is coming after us. So we go outside. I have dragonflies literally flying on my shoulders, landing, butterflies, every insect. I feel like I'm in the forest.
Well, you are like the queen of the forest. I want to say something to Kim. Thanks, Kim, for the clarification. Don't worry, I didn't forget you. I was wondering when you're going to write back. Yes, now I understand you're burned out on e-commerce. And absolutely, I can see there was too much red tape detail that had no feeling behind it. But here's the thing. With the reference to AI, this conversation is a great conversation to have. I think you're just the perfect person to do it because you are the solution person. Look, you have to accept that. You're the solution person. So decide that that's kind of like your brand. You can think of solutions to things, easier solutions. So I love the AI idea. Absolutely green light all the way for you.
Okay, quite a few super chats came in. We have Rain, Bernadette, Jessica didn't ask a question, but probably just wants a message. Amy, Angela Fisher, she had one more question, and Sharat.
I'm not even going to address how you pronounce his name.
I thought I said it right!
You're saying exactly like you always say it.
Sharat.
Shut up.
Sharat. So you remembered and I didn't? How sad.
It's so embarrassing. She's been married to an Indian for 14 years.
Look, I understand some Hindi, okay?
She doesn't speak Hindi.
I understand.
He speaks Kannada.
Yeah, but I don't know what that is.
It's a different language.
Yeah.
You know we have 14... I don't know why. This is a public service announcement. In India, we have 14 major languages. And they're actually very different languages. They're actually completely different languages, and we have 1,200 dialects. And how do we understand each other? Food. Okay, let me continue. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
So do the super chats.
I will. Okay, I'm going to go right to the super chats, but I do want to address Lordonia Works. Hi, Riz. Do you or your guides, or my guides, see any issues from my past life that I need to release to move ahead in my career? What do you see for me this year? Much love. There's an eagle and a heart on fire. I thought that was a chicken. This is how I'm perceiving things now. Okay, so let me see here. Lordonia, yes, I have a couple of, I have two messages for you. Past life, as soon as I read that, what jumped out to me is that when you say, do I need to release to move ahead in my career? Well, let me look into that because that is a thing. We do have to do that. We're not just about this lifetime. We bring things in with us that we're still working on. You know, astrology readings help with that a lot. I actually feel like you need one that will help you. If you find a good astrologer, if you don't know one, Erica is amazing. Write to us here, and she does amazing phone readings for you, very detailed. But I think that will help you a lot in understanding yourself here and what you're here to do. So what do you see for me this year? This year I see you coasting. I do want to see what I see for you next year is where the energy is. It's not about this year. I feel like you put way too much pressure mentally already. You probably were already up to your eyeballs in pressure on yourself by the time April or May rolled around. So forget about the rest of this year. I see that you should just coast the rest of this year and pull back your energy and keep that going through January. February and March is where I see the actual the reigniting of the torch happens then for you. You're destined for entrepreneurship, nothing else. You have to be the boss. Not everyone is though, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just for you.
So there's that one.
Okay.
And there was, I want to put this.
Hi, Amy. Love and light to you guys. Can I know the name of my spirit guides? Yes, jumping out top of order. I'm going to go. I see 3 for you, Amy, working with you, and it's quite beautiful. Also, I want to know, because it's interesting you put purple hearts, because I see amethyst all around you. Amethyst works beautifully for you. Everyone has certain crystals that they wear. It's because that's what they need. It's almost like some people have certain minerals or vitamins that they need. And crystals are minerals. That's what they are. We just call them crystals because of the structural formation inside, which looks like a lattice. Don't get me started because I'll go way deep into that, into the geology of that. So spirit guides working with you right now that are very, I want to say, super powerful for you. You have a shaman energy working with you, Amy, which is coming from, for me, it feels very deeply South American and very strong energy. And the name, I'll spell it out for you, is I'll pronounce it Ila, but it's kind of written like I-L-A. That's the name of one of the guides that's working with you. The other guide that is working with you, let me just focus in on what you're writing so I can tune in deeper. Wow, okay. So that's very interesting. So at a particular point when this country was being, colonized, when people came over, they also found out that they weren't the first ones here coming from there. They found Viking helmets, and that's what I just saw, that you had a lifetime where you were part of that, and you have these Norse, N-O-R-S-E, kind of gods, or those very powerful energies working with you, Amy. So look into that. That would be like Odin, Freya, those names working with you. Okay.
So there's quite a few other messages.
I want to try someone new. Hi, there's one.
Do you want me to do a cutoff for the super chats?
Yeah, we'll just do 2 more of the super chats
Because there's other questions also.
Okay.
And there was a more serious question. I can't find her now, but she asked about the children in Maui that have been missing and they haven't found. She doesn't know if the government is not releasing the names. She wants to know what happened to those children, if you can tune in, if it's possible.
I feel very, very, as a medium, when I connect to these kinds of situations, it's very overwhelming at times. I try to stay away from it when I can. There are certain mediums who this is what they do. They only go into the super painful experiences like disasters. But what I will tell you is that I did see many of those lives lost in the water. I kept seeing that and washed out. So terrible. But I did see those people, kind of their life force just going to the other side through the water. And I do feel they're going to find some of the remains in the rubble. Names are not being released. I feel the names are not being released because there's a lot of information not being released because they're still trying to figure out how to address the many moving parts here, because there are people involved in that who are they're in authority, but they also don't know. It's not that everyone in authority knows things that seem to be more nefarious. Only some people are involved in things like that, and some people are not. And they all seem to be in positions of authority. So this is the way it goes. It's just like with the UFOs. Like people in Congress don't know. And then there's people who are presidents who didn't know about the alien presence. It's not that everyone is in on it. So, yeah, that's what I feel there. Let me go to Catherine Kreider. Riz, can you give me a message from my guys? Thank you. Katie. Hi, Katie. Where are you from, Katie? All right, let me go into that for a moment. You got a cowboy working with you, Katie. Your spirit guide's dressed like one of those beautiful cowboys with a brand new outfit and the white hat and the silver guns and those little flaps on the jeans. What are those called? Do you know? What are they called, Erica?
Chaps.
Chaps.
Lee, you got to go to the Virgo.
The Virgo always knows trivia. Always.
Chaps. Like right there on the tip of her tongue. Why is that on the tip of your tongue?
I don't know.
I don't even want to know, actually, now that I think about it. Okay. But that's what your spirit guide looks like. I don't know his name just yet. Sometimes they just show up so fast. It's been happening to me my whole life.
She's from Reno, Nevada.
From Reno, Nevada. Well, I don't know if you have any cowboys out there. That was a great show, Reno 911. I love that show.
Loved Reno.
Maybe that's why I'm seeing Chaps. It's that guy in the shorts on Reno 911. Okay, thank you, Katie. Yes, a couple of things I want to tell you. You are in the building stage right now. You are in the building. The guides see your efforts. Even though you are your worst critic for yourself, they see your efforts. They're saying the best way to receive, though, is not like this. It's like this. Of course, this isn't to receive anything. This is what you need. You're quite a warrior yourself, Katie. I do feel that young people are here. You can be such a big supporter and a good confidant, a good listener to younger people. And it's because that part of you is still very much always going to be alive. It's always going to be the eternal teenager in you that is there. But I have to tell you, I'm not feeling that Reno's the place. So start thinking about a big leap. Let me know how you feel about that.
I like this one. And I also, Miriam says she's not sure how to spell. Did you give her the Indian guru names? Is that Miriam?
Yeah, Satya. Sai
how do you
Baba is
spell it?
S-A-I.
S-A-I.
Then second word is Baba, B-A-B-A.
B-A-B-A.
And so type that in, and then you'll see which one. There's two of them, and you'll see which one I described, okay?
Okay, I like this question right here.
Hi, Joanna. My partner is watching with me, and he wants to know how he wants to know how best learn to open yourself up to experience one's own spirit guides or receive communications. Thank you. Great question. Thank you. I love that. This is going to be a little bit of a layered question, but I'm going to go into it as best as I can. I'm going to teach big classes on this. So in the
I
live
can
chat,
talk about it too if you want to take a break, or does he want to hear it from you?
well, we both, this is what we teach. So
That's what
why
we
don't you
teach.
take this one?
Yeah, so you could just take a breather for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, so I picked you because I felt you over there going, who are these people over here? And you wanted to watch, so I thought that was cool. And I also, I always am very inspired when people come together, like partnerships, and they want to improve their spiritual evolution together. They want to grow together. They talk about these things together. That always makes me so happy. I love that. So first of all, you're in the right direction that you're even asking, because that's just putting you in the mindset. So it's really about your mindset. If you, first of all, if you believe that you have guides and you believe you can connect to your guides, at least in some way, you're halfway there. So that's just setting you up, because you have to be properly set up. If you don't believe that you have guides, if you're angry about that and you don't know if anyone's looking after you and you have any personal guides, that can be an issue that you have to work out first. But if you are already feeling that you have guides and you would like to learn how to connect to them more, this is where meditation comes in. This is where you can learn automatic writing, where you can take a piece of paper and kind of close your eyes and have a pen in your hand, very loose, or a pencil, and see what comes out. It could be a drawing. It could be some words. When I first did it, I had a spirit guide actually write through my hand, and she said her name was Maria, and I tracked her down over a period of time and figured out who she was. And so that's one way. Also, you can, when you're having some quiet time by yourself, like you're driving, you're in the shower, or you're just quiet, internalize, go quiet inside, close your eyes, and very quietly ask, if there's a guide here, what's your name? And you'll be surprised, because you've never asked, you've never received. So you might hear something and you might get a name. It also could be a message could pop up, like something pops up with a name on it, and it could be over and over and over. You see the same artist or the same guide. I almost said actor. It's weird. This is a Hollywood night tonight. There's a lot of big energies in the house.
You know what I want to say also to her partner is,
yeah,
great, is that, you know, for me, I never thought I was going to be a channeler or a medium. I knew that I had something clearly at a young age, but I didn't pursue it. I didn't pursue being this. I played music. That's what I want to do. I sang in bands, and that's what I did. But I want you to know that it's almost like it happens when you least expect it, when you have a message from your guides. A lot of it is kind of like connecting dots. You know, when you have, I wish I knew your partner's name, but I'm just going to say, just direct it to you, is that you start saying, oh, that's interesting. Somebody, that name keeps popping up. That name keeps popping up. Oh, that's weird. How come that person mentioned that thing, and then 3 days later, someone also mentioned something similar? Your guides kind of drop little crumbs for you to follow. Instead of, they don't just come through and appear at the foot of your bed. 9 times out of 10, that's not what they do. And just go, I am the spirit guide, and they say their names. It has happened, but that's not how it usually happens. They are very subtle in the way that they leave you these hints about who they are. There's many times that I've given readings to people who've never been to a psychic, don't understand spirit guides or whatever all of it is about, and someone gives them a reading for a present for their birthday, and I get on the phone with them and I start talking, and I'll never forget. I was in a bar.
So Tony is her.
Tony, I was in this bar. I don't drink, but I was in a bar, whatever, years ago, and I was with friends, and I was sitting there having my pineapple juice, and there was this bartender. This is on Abbot Kinney here in LA, and this bartender's just working, and I'm like, Sammy Davis Jr. is with this guy. I just saw Sammy Davis Jr. Welcome to my world. This is how it is, how I see things. And I'm like, okay, I know I'm gonna tell this guy this thing. So as he was just talking to us, I said, so listen, I want to tell you something. I said, you have a spirit guide. You could say this maybe in LA. People will be like, oh, who's my guide? It's happening everywhere now, though. This happens everywhere now. People understand it. And I said, Sammy Davis Jr. is your guide. And he stared at me like I was crazy. It's happened to me a lot of times, by the way. And he goes, I have a full-size door poster on my wall of Sammy Davis Jr. and I have no idea why I have it. I just thought I was never into his music, and I was at a vintage store and it was there, and I was like, I need to have this poster. Can you believe that? And here I am years later in a bar telling him this. So he said, well, what's the message? And I said that Sammy Davis Jr. was just telling you that you are here, you're in this bar, but you're really supposed to be on stage. He goes, I want to be a stand-up comedian. So have some patience, Tony. Drop in and say, first thing you say is, it's possible my guides are already speaking to me. Let me see if I can find coincidences, and just start to speak in your mind tonight when you go to bed. Just say in your mind, I would love some communication. I'm here, I'm open. Even if it takes months or years, whatever, I would love to start to be able to see and connect these dots.
Okay, so before we go any further, I just want to say it's time to probably stop with the chats.
Yeah.
So we're just the super chats. So we're just going to go into the questions that are still remaining here. So let's just go back a little bit.
Okay.
So we can look here.
Baron Von Crunch wrote Goosebumps. Love that movie too. No, what is the Goosebumps about, Baron? I want to know.
So here's some other.
Okay, so Lordonia said, yes, I feel that. Okay, I will see an astrologer. Yes, a lot of pressure. Coasting sounds good. Yes, I like the sound of being the boss. Because you'll be a good boss. That's why. Okay, let me see.
Can we see the globe up closer that's in front of you? Hi, Queen Shira. Now, it's supposed to turn on, but it's not on right now. So it's just a nice mushroom.
2 mushrooms in there.
There's 2 mushrooms in there.
Okay. Okay, let me just scroll back a little bit. I want to do some people I haven't done because that's only fair.
Yeah, guys.
Mauricio,
only fair.
Mauricio says burning horse apples scare mosquitoes away.
What?
What is a horse apple? Erica?
Well, it might be.
Erica, what's a
it's
horse apple?
Similar to a crab apple, because that's what comes to mind.
It's similar to a crab apple? Okay.
Tell me if I'm right.
I don't know. I can't be Googling while I'm on this. Okay, 1 second.
No, I mean the chat.
Okay, let me see. Brooke. Hi, Brooke. Any messages for me? Yes. That's why I stopped when I saw your name. But let me read what the question is. I burnt out teaching, haven't yet reinvented myself. I want to do meaningful work in service, but don't know what direction to take. I need to make an income for a family. Hey, when it comes to family, something else kicks in, baby. What kicks in is you got to do what you got to do. Sometimes going back to basics, offering to be of service. I'm just going to go way out there. I'll clean your garage. I'll clean your house. What do you want me to do? What do you people need me to do? I'm going to do anything. You need to shake the dust off this blanket, Brooke. There's just too much data and information. You got too... Look, there's a difference between complex and complicated. Complex things are very entertaining and interesting. Complicated things are not. Complicated people are not. Complex people can be fascinating, intriguing. A complex meal is there's layers of flavor in there. But all of that got too much. Back to basics now. You got to get raw with yourself. When it comes to family, nothing stops you. People have to eat, you do what you got to do. This is where it all, you don't worry about. I like to say doubt is a luxury you cannot afford. Doubt becomes a luxury. Why? What is a luxury? You lay back and you're floating on it. You're kind of disconnected from things. And you can buy time. You don't have the luxury of doubt. I know you can feel burnt out. It's just that those circuits, that old motherboard is burnt out. It's time we're going to switch it out. Simpler. I want you to remember something, Brooke, and maybe you don't even know it. For those of you who study martial arts, you'll know this perhaps. So you start off as a white belt. The ultimate goal is a black belt, correct? What does that represent spiritually about learning through a process over time of becoming better at martial arts? Okay, so it goes from white to yellow. The belt starts to age with use. And then it gets darker and darker and darker as you get better and better and better until it's black. But guess what? There is a belt that's higher than a black belt, and it's the white belt again. It starts over. Well, what happens there? How does a black belt turn to a white belt with use? Here's how. The belt starts to fray, and the color, which is dyed black, right, starts to fray, and underneath you see the white thread coming back. You're not reinventing. Forget about the word reinvent. It's too contrived. You cannot use that template anymore. So all your guides are, it's like they're propelling you into this. It's almost like these parts of the iceberg have to fall off. That's why you felt icy. So it's time, maybe do a sacred plant medicine journey that can help you also. Okay, let me look. Yes, Kara, it is the painter. All right. The vibe is strong, Sharath. I hear you.
So this
Someone wrote Shirdi Saibo. Yes, it is Shirdi, right? Okay. Let me go here.
I think we missed. Did we do this one?
There was another question from Rain, but I can do, this is the last super chat question, guys. I'm going to go to everybody else also who's waiting. My grandma's 1 year anniversary of her death is coming up on the 18th. I keep feeling her with me recently. Oh, 1 year. Wow, that's really recent. Is she okay now? Does she need to tell me anything? I miss her so much. Give me a moment, Rain, as I drop in. You just speak because I just kind of making the connection now.
Okay, well, I want to let everybody know, because we had technical difficulties in the beginning, I don't know exactly when we started, but I think we might be coming to an end soon. We try to do about 2 hours, but I know that we started at like at 7:15, 7:20-ish. So I just want to let you guys know that that's coming. But every Sunday, we want to always do this and have our Psychic Sundays with you all. We enjoy it so much. And even when we're going to be traveling and doing our retreats, we're going to still go live and we're still going to connect with you all. So we're looking forward to that.
Okay, I got a message from Grandma. So Rain, I'm being directed into your house right now, and I'm coming around. If you're coming out of the bathroom, this is what I'm seeing. I'm coming out of the bathroom, and I'm going to the right.
It's Barbara.
Barbara. Okay, so when you're coming out of the bathroom, so the grandmother's name is Barbara. Excuse me. So Barbara is showing me coming out of the bathroom and going down this maybe about 5 paces. what is on your left-hand side? What is on that wall? Because she's showing me something there with great energy. Also, do you go to farmers markets, by the way? Because she's like, I'm with you when you're shopping for produce. I don't know what that message means. As you know, as a medium, I just relay it to you. But that's when she's with you. She's like, I'm going to help you pick out the right fruit. Yeah, she's like going to help you shop. That's kind of when she shows up. She's like, I'm going to help you with your nose. Okay. There was someone else here. John says, cool hairstyle, Riza. Thank you. That's all her doing. My stylist right here. Okay.
So how about we just do one more? And it looks like it's getting late in different parts of the world.
Okay, I'm going to just spin the wheel and see someone who I have not talked to yet.
She's asked her who her spirit guides are in several questions prior.
Okay, let me just see here. Okay, let me see here. I gotta scroll down. Let me see. Love all these comments. You guys are so dropped in. Okay. Oh, okay. So Rain says, yes, on the wall is a painting of a pig which she had for years. I grew up with this painting. Well, there you go. Hi, Manoj Kumar. Nice to see you. Or see your name. Okay, yes, I'm going to take one more here. I just scrolled past it. It was about the energies.
Who's that one?
I've done that person already. I'm trying to do new people. Names I have not worked with. Okay, mystical matter. Hi. Is it similar with energies? I'm trying to learn how to communicate with the energies I constantly feel around me while still setting boundaries when I feel uncomfortable and need to sleep. That is a stage. I hear you. I hear you. That does happen. You know, I want to talk about channeling and when you open up a channel. Look, everyone can learn how to connect better or open their third eye more. Not everyone is meant to be a psychic medium or a channeler. No, it is not true that everybody can channel anybody at any time. That is not how it works. Of course, it doesn't work that way. Everyone has a particular gift on the planet. Everyone can learn how to do certain things better. Yes, of course you can. You can learn how to be a better singer even if you can't carry a tune now. With the proper coaching, you'll be able to carry a tune after diligent practice and developing your ear again. But you're not going to be on stage being the best singer in the world or in the top 10. It's not going to happen. And it's not even supposed to happen. But when it comes to being able to open what we call the third eye, we call that the third eye. It's good enough for me, the definition. It is about that you have a natural sense. Your third eye, your sixth sense, it is a natural sense that most of us never have the opportunity to develop. Now, there are guides that are going to try to get your attention, but they're not going to keep you up at night. Your guides do not keep you up at night. What happens is that you are feeling them and you go, well, I can't sleep because they keep coming to me. That's usually other people who are in spirit on the other side who are trying to get a message through. What you need to do, and this is to the person, I didn't get your name, but it says mystical matter, is that you have to go into meditation and find out who your gatekeeper is. Everyone who is kind of developing this in a more serious way, like it seems like you are, you need to know who your gatekeeper is. My gatekeeper is Red Eagle. Red Eagle, I learned, was the one who kind of cards everyone. He's the bouncer at the door to make sure that everybody stays in line and nobody gets out of line and who gets into the club, which is me, right? So this is very, very important to do that. This usually comes through meditation and different modalities that we do talk about here, but to be very peaceful and relaxed about it, not tense. And after a while, you learn to this vocabulary energy of communicating with those spirits who have crossed over, as well as your spirit guides. Guides are not here to bother you. They will send you messages and will be persistent at times. But again, you are in control of this vessel. Part of the sacred contract is they are going to do that to make you more in control of your aura. Just like we were talking about martial arts earlier, martial artist teacher is going to, the sensei is going to come and hit you with that bamboo stick after they teach you how to block it or to dodge it or to counter. So all of that is your training to learn the vocabulary of the martial arts. So when it comes to the esoteric or spiritual or psychic arts, your guides are going to allow this kind of thing to happen to you so you get a hold of yourself. And you start to drop in and advance your inner technology of your third eye. Okay? So consider that your training. Go with it, advance to the next level. Yes?
Yeah, well, we can wrap up now.
We are wrapping up. We've been going for a while.
Wow, guys.
Love it. Thank you, thank you,
This
thank
has
you.
been really fun. I don't even know if we really want to say any announcements or anything.
We're just going to go like this.
We're just good right now.
Let's do this. Should I ring the bell?
Yeah.
We always just end with that beautiful tone. And look how instantly we just dropped down the energy. Thanks for, we had some sound difficulties tonight, and I know it doesn't sound like it usually does, but it'll be better next time. And we love being here with you guys. And drop us notes, leave some comments, give us some love. We send you love. We'll be back here next Sunday.
Check us out on our website, rizmirza.com. And Riz is going to be speaking at Gaia Conference
Oh, yeah.
on the 23rd.
Tomorrow night, I'm going to be on Heal Squad podcast with Maria Menounos. If you've heard of her, who hasn't, check her out, Heal Squad on Instagram. I'll be doing a live tomorrow on Zoom. And what else is coming up? We have a bunch of retreats happening
Conscious
next
Life
year.
Expo in February.
Yeah.
Lots of retreats.
So check out the site. Drop us a note if you want to join us on all of our spiritual psychic adventures. And we send you love and peace.
Wait.
What?
Midnight Madness.
So we added another episode to, it's not just once a week, guys. We are doing a midweek drop of our series called Midnight Madness. We actually record the episode
It's
at
not
midnight.
live.
Yeah, we recorded at midnight the night before.
You can see the last episode. So last episode we talked about Bigfoot, and Riz channeled Phineas Quimby and answered all my questions about Bigfoot. You guys have to go back to the homepage, go find this video. Oh my God, it was incredible. So every time we do Midnight Madness, we're going to do a different form of channeling, asking questions, dropping in with the guides, and finding out about really deep paranormal topics, mysterious topics.
Well, we're calling it, on Midnight Madness, we're calling this Interview with a Spirit Guide. So every Wednesday, you're going to see Oriah interview a guide that I'm in full Trance Channel, and it will be about, like last week you asked Phineas about Bigfoot and
Yes.
Yeti. This week it'll be something else, okay?
Yes. Yep.
Much love.